I do know, though, as you just mentioned, the Kemba Walker deal, and in fact, he has decided to sign a 4-year, $141 max contract with the Celtics. Jeff Schwartz telling ESPN, this is interesting to me on a couple levels, including that he traveled up to Boston, Woj reported, again, before anyone was officially allowed to talk about anything. By the way, the Hornets, not really officially, it's not an extension, it's a free agent. The Hornets weren't supposed to be able to have talks with him either. All of this is a little bit...
Let's suspend disbelief on all this stuff.
All of
Forget about it. They moved ridiculous. It to 6 o'clock to do us a favor to have this instead. We could be doing it at midnight. The interesting thing about this is that it looks like the Hornets are going to replace Kemba with Terry Rozier.
Yes.
And so it leaves open the possibility, from what I'm told, an $18 million a year deal for Terry Rozier, which is huge money.
I mean,
the way the Hornets have handled this is not ideal. That said, they are going to try to salvage it. And the Celtics and Hornets can do business with each other on a sign and trade with Rozier and Kemba Walker.
Can I get on a soapbox here for a second?
Just a minute, because I got Derrick Rose news.
Okay, give me Derrick Rose news. Okay. And then I'm going to get on soapbox.
By the way, Terry Rozier with the all-time great line on ESPN after his season was over, saying that his year in Boston was like going from the front seat to the trunk. We'll have to see what he says in Charlotte. We do have Derrick Rose news. It is time for the draft. As you see on your screen, free agent guard Derrick Rose agreed to a 2-year, $15 million deal to join the Detroit Pistons, league sources telling ESPN. As it rains particles in the studio from my crank, please tell me the significance of this.
So they got him on a good number here. He's coming off his best year in the last 5 years.
Absolutely.
The Pistons really wanted scoring. Now, he did shoot 37% on three-point range last year, which stunned everybody, maybe everybody but him. The Pistons ideally could have more shooting. He did have a good year, but the Pistons prioritized trying to get somebody to put the ball in the basket. Derrick Rose, when he's at his best, can still put the ball in the basket. So this is a strong move and definitely a bit of a gamble because Derrick Rose, you're not really sure what his consistency is going to be, but they got him again, only 2 years and a roughly for less than the mid-level, full mid-level exception. So a quality value signing. We're going to see some moves today, like especially I was just talking about Rozier. That number was scary high.
Right.
This number is scary good if he's a good player for them.
And the idea of him with Blake Griffin, who obviously had injuries as we went into the playoffs this year. Where do you guys see Detroit if this starts to be what they look like going into that Eastern Conference slots?
Well, they were looking like the 6th seed for most of the season. Then Blake got hurt with that knee injury at the end. They slipped all the way down to 8, and Blake played on one leg in a couple of games. But for them to make the playoffs again was a win this year, and they want to build off of that. So just getting Wayne Ellington last year as a buyout player, getting Derrick Rose to come as a free agent. These are things that don't normally happen, right? That speaks to them having turned things around. The question is, can they make a big move? Can they, I don't know what this means for Reggie Jackson there, but what can they do going forward to get out of that 6, 7, 8 spot in the East?
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.